All right, welcome back. So, again, S3 ICT, we continue our exploration of this challenge that I gave you in the previous class, in one of the previous classes. So, now, what was the last thing that we saw? Okay, we were trying to manipulate the border style, and we saw that you could either give three values so that you style the top, left and right, and bottom of the HR box. So if you do this border style and then you specify dotted none, okay, what you get. So you do that here. It's something different. This the alternative, but let me just show you the web page again. So what you get is this. An alternative would be use for border style, you type in none, but you specify what you want to happen to the border top style. Okay, and the result is the same. It's like this. Okay, moving on. Now, because we've been trying to copy this, okay, this kind of HR. So what we can do now is to change the size of the dots and the color as well. Okay, so let's say what we can do is to change the border color and also the border width. Okay, so what we need to type in is something like this. So specify the border color and the border width. Okay, let's try that out. Let's say gray and border width, say 20%. 20 pixels. Okay, let's take a look at the web page. What do we have there? Okay, so this gives me three dots. It's great, that's correct, but this seems to be quite big. Let's see. Oh no, it's more. Oh yeah, that's too big. I think that's too big. We need to adjust that a little bit. It seems that the gray is okay. Gray seems to be okay. Let's see. Let's change that to 10. Save it. Go back web page, and that seems to be okay. 10. Still a little bit big relative to the letters there and the words. Maybe 5. Let's try 5. Okay. Seems to be better. Seems to be closer to this. Now what we need to do is to make the width, to reduce the width, to make that a little bit shorter. Not the series of dots shouldn't be too long. So what we can do is to modify the HR width. Okay, not the border, but the width itself of the HR itself. Okay, so relative to the entire screen. Oh yeah, that's more like it, like closer to that. maybe a little bit smaller, maybe 5 as well. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Okay, so it seems this is fine. That's fine then. Okay, let me show you the code again. It's also on this slide. That's good. Now what I want you to do is to upload this to Teams, this version, meaning I want to see that if I open your web page, I want to be able to see that. Okay, so your task is to follow everything that we've done in these two presentations, the first part and this second part. Okay, save your work and upload it to Teams. I'll create a folder called horizontal. So, you know, that's hard. That's going to be hard to miss. Upload your work so I can check it over the break. Now, what else can we say? We want our changes to be consistent across our website. So if you have a website that necessarily consists of several web pages, like we saw before when we were working on HTML. So if you have your index file and then you have the other web pages connected to that main one. So you have your contact, your hobbies, your education, etc. Okay. Now, the thing about internal CSS is that it only applies whatever you do here, style, here within the style tags, that's only valid for this particular file. So for this particular web page, it doesn't necessarily apply to the other things. You can check that on your own by opening any of your other sub web pages, and you will see that the styles that you typed in here, they don't apply to the other web pages. So, but actually, if you have a website, you want your styles to be consistent. Okay, so internal CSS is not enough for you to be able to do that. Okay, now if you want to keep on using internal CSS and you want the same styles applied to the sub web pages, what you need to do then is to copy the style tags and everything in it, copy paste that, or type it into your sub web pages here. But that's again tedious, repetitive, error prone. So if possible, we would like to avoid that. It's true, internal CSS is easier than inline CSS, but it's just slightly easier, slightly handier than that. Okay, so what would be ideal is actually to have your CSS, your styles, all of your code pertaining to style in one location, and all of that set of styles applies to all the components of your website, all the the main web page and the sub web pages. Okay, that's ideal. That's why it's the next topic is external CSS. Okay, we're going to take it a step further. We're going to learn about styling across different web pages. Now, as we begin to embark upon that topic, I want you to create a new folder within your HTML. So within your personal site here, a new folder, a CSS folder. So this folder has to be within that folder. Okay? as you can see here. So that's what you do. Call the folder CSS, and then you can create a new file within that folder. Call it styles CSS dot CSS. Sorry. So pay attention to the extension. That's important so that the browser can read it as a CSS file. It knows how to treat that file. So it's not an HTML file, but a style file. All right, that's about it. And I'll see you in the next recording.